Hi, and welcome to International First Steps. First off, we would like to welcome you to the University of Alabama, where we know you're going to have an amazing time. It's an exciting time of year, and we have a lot of information to share with you. To begin, I wanted to introduce our office. Our office is the Office of International Student and Scholar Services. We're here to support both international students, international faculty, and international researchers who are here, as well as their families. Our hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 4:45 p.m. And we do walk-in advising and virtual advising Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, if you ever have a quick question and you need a quick answer, you can always stop in during the walk-in times or jump on to Zoom for virtual advising. Our location is in 105 B.B. Comer Hall. Our website is international.ua.edu/ISSS. Our email is international@ua.edu, and our phone number is 205-348-5402. My name is Charter Morris. I'm the Director of International Student and Scholar Services. On behalf of International Student and Scholar Services, I would like to welcome you to the University of Alabama. It is an exciting time of the year for all of us, and particularly for all of our newly arrived students. We can only hope that you will catch the welcoming nature of Tuscaloosa and find comfort as you settle in to pursue your academic career here at the University of Alabama. The University of Alabama has had a rich history of academic excellence since its founding in 1831, and this year we are looking forward to seeing you succeed in your goals and participate in the many culturally enriching activities that our campus has to offer. We hope you will join us in many of the campus-wide events designed to welcome new students, scholars, and faculty. I do wish you all the success for a productive year. Now, a little bit about International Student and Scholar Services. Our mission is to provide essential services and innovative programs for the University of Alabama's international students, scholars, and their families to enable them to achieve their educational, professional, and social goals. ISSS seeks to foster diversity and strengthen intercultural relationships throughout the UA campus and community. It is our commitment to promote understanding and respect for the world's many cultures. There is a lot of information that can be very overwhelming for any new student or scholar. One great resource for you is our website at international.ua.edu/ISSS. You can find us through our shortened URL at is.ua.edu. Here you're going to find plenty of information needed for future and new students, current students, international scholars, faculty, and staff, as well as resources in the community and family support. There you're going to find information about what you need to do to maintain your visa status, information about work eligibility as an international student, information about travel as an international student. So anytime you need that information, please feel free to jump on the website at any time. But we also want to see you here at our office. If you have not found us already, we're located in 105 B.B. Comer Hall. Our hall, right here on the map, is located very close to the Student Center. So the Student Center here on campus and the Student Services Center are both next to B.B. Comer Hall, and we're also not too far away from the Gorgas Library. Our street address is 400 McCorvey Drive, Tuscaloosa, Alabama 35401. And when you go onto the campus map, you'll find us under Building ID 1043. If you just look up B.B. Comer Hall, you will find us there as one of the academic buildings. When you enter our building, the easiest way to get to our office, we're here at this top corner. And if you go in through the north entrance here on the side, you'll be able to enter into a lobby, which will then be next to the English Language Institute and the International Student and Scholar Services offices. So as a new international student, you have a lot to do to settle in. Below are your first big steps. What you will need to do over the next several days is to complete international orientation and pass the immigration quiz, to update your address in MyBama with your local Tuscaloosa address, to complete international check-in by uploading your documents. You'll need to work out your attendance for other orientations such as Bama Bound, GROW, and the GTA workshop, register for classes, and confirm your schedule, set up your ACT card, set up apps and accounts, and attend the new student welcome event. And we're going to go through all of that information together. First off, step 1, international orientation. All new international students must complete an international orientation and check-in online, and this can be accessed on our website here at international.ua.edu/ISSS Future New Students Orientation. To complete this orientation, you must do the following. You will review the cultural adjustment and health resources, review the academic success and campus life resources, then you will complete the immigration section video and take an immigration quiz. You're going to need to score 100% on the quiz, but don't worry. If you don't pass it the first time, you can retake the quiz any number of times you need to hit the required 100%. And it's just a 10-question quiz. During the orientation, we're going to refer a lot to the International Orientation Guide, which is available as a PDF and is also easily accessible from the orientation page. This contains helpful information about campus resources, about adjusting to campus life, and academic success here at the University of Alabama. We're going to cover this information thoroughly during the online orientation, and at various points we're going to refer you to parts of the guide. So please access it, save the PDF, and make sure to keep it for future reference. Step 2, updating your address. All international students and all non-U.S. citizens residing in the U.S. are required to update their address within 10 days of any change of address. The first time you do that is when you enter the U.S. and you begin your studies. So when you move, you need to make sure that you've updated your address in MyBama, and ISSS will report that change to the Department of Homeland Security and SEVIS. The address information that we require are your local address and your permanent address. In step 2, when you're updating your address and you get into the personal information section, the information we need most, of course, is this local address. When you enter it in there, you're going to make sure to put a start date, but we recommend not to put any end date to your address. And the reason for that is that once that end date passes, it will remove this address. So only update the address when you change addresses. For your home country address, again, your permanent home address you can list here, and you would simply leave that with no end date so that that remains in there. And those both feed to us in ISSS so that we can report that in SEVIS. Step 3. So after you have reviewed all the orientation information and completed your immigration quiz and of course updated your address, you're going to complete the check-in process. The check-in process will require you to upload certain documents through our secure check-in portal. The documents must be saved as an image or PDF or Word file, and it must be less than 5 megabytes in size. Again, these documents are the contact information sheet, the acknowledgement of responsibility form, your main passport information page, your F1 visa or your J1 visa scan, a copy of your I-20, just pages 1 and 2, or your DS 2019, page 1 only, a copy of the I-94 arrival departure record, which is only accessible after you've arrived to the U.S. And if you have any family with you, a spouse or children who arrived on an F2 or J2 visa status, please also scan their documents for check-in. If your address is updated and your documents are uploaded, then your SEVIS will be validated. Once these steps are complete, ISSS will process the validation of your SEVIS record. That's with Homeland Security's Student Exchange Visitor Program. And it can take 2 to 3 business days at a minimum for us to validate that with Homeland Security. After that check-in has been completed and your SEVIS record has been validated, you will be notified. And only after that SEVIS validation will our office be able to process any requested verifications for I-9 processing, Alabama credit union accounts, driver's licenses, or Social Security number applications. Step 4, other orientations. Undergraduate students. If you are a new undergraduate student or you've transferred here, you will need to attend Bama Bound. Now, registration for Bama Bound is done online, and Bama Bound orientation is in person. You may need to reach out to Bama Bound in the orientation office directly to ask any questions about this. But during Bama Bound, you will receive a full introduction to campus, and you're going to meet with your academic advisor so that you can register for courses. It's a great opportunity to connect with other students here at the University of Alabama and to make sure that you get started on the right foot. Graduate students will also have other orientations that they need to attend. In addition to any departmental orientation that may be required within your specific academic program, there is the Graduate Orientation and Welcome, also known as GROW. GROW is designed to prepare incoming graduate students with the necessary information to make their time at UA a success. In addition, it serves to supplement your departmental orientation experience and give you a well-rounded view of the university experience through the graduate student lens. On top of that, if you have a graduate teaching assistantship, all GTAs will attend a fall semester workshop. Now, this workshop is required for all new graduate teaching assistants. New GTAs should contact the graduate school about participation in the August workshop. This is only held in the fall semester, so if you are a new student in the spring semester or in the summer, you will need to make plans to attend the fall workshop if you are a graduate teaching assistant. Step 5, you'll need to register for classes. Remember, you have to register for full-time coursework before the end of drop add. Work with your academic advisor to select appropriate classes and follow the steps on the Registrar's page to enroll. Now, I need to remind you that general enrollment requirements are, for graduate students, you have to enroll 9 credit hours to be considered full-time. If you have a 0.5 FTE assistantship, which is a 20-hour per week graduate assistantship, whether it's a teaching assistantship, research assistantship, or student assistantship, you are considered to be full-time with a 6 credit hour load. Undergraduate students must always enroll 12 credit hours minimum. We'll talk about exceptions during another session on immigration status, but these are the general enrollment requirements. Now, I also need to remind you that there are some limitations to online study. For F1 students, we can only count one 3 credit hour course that is online towards your enrollment minimum. And J1 students may not count any online coursework towards the minimum enrollment requirement. This does not mean you cannot take online courses. You may, of course, take online courses. It's just that for F1 students, we can only count one of them towards the minimum enrollment requirements. And for J1 students, we can't count any of the online classes towards meeting these credit hour minimums. Now, for you, as you're going through the process, we realize that the U.S. academic environment may be very different from your home country's academic system. It takes a little while to get used to the different systems that we use for advising and for registration. So for that, we've developed a short international student advising guide, which you can access as a PDF and save to your computer for future reference. This contains helpful information about course registration, academic advising, and academic success here at the University of Alabama. This is readily available through our orientation page. Now, once you have registered for a schedule of classes, you need to confirm that schedule. It's important that this need to be confirmed or secured, and it won't be confirmed or secured until you've either paid your balance with Student Account Services here on campus, or set up a payment plan, or taken other action to secure your schedule. And you can find more payment information and options for the payment plan and other options for payment to the institution through studentaccounts.ua.edu/payment-methods. As a student, you're going to find yourself using your action card quite regularly. The ACT card, or the action card, is a digital ID card that gives you access to your residence hall if you live on campus, your laboratories, to dining halls, to recreation centers, to the libraries, to student health center, and a lot more. To set up your action card, you're going to follow the steps on the ACT card photo submit page. You will need to take a photo of yourself as well as your passport to prove your identity. Make sure that the photo meets all the requirements that are listed on their tips and criteria page, and then you will go through the process to set up the ACT card on your phone. Then you want to set up some apps and accounts to help you out. One that is very, very crucial, and one that I even use as a staff member here, is our mobile app. The mobile app can be found at app.ua.edu, and within it there's many very helpful sections that will allow you to navigate the campus and get services at the ready. We have information on there for our directory information. We have events in our calendar system. The library can be accessed through there. There's the safety app, Blackboard, which is used by all the courses on campus. We have a campus map built into it, as well as Crimson Ride bus routes and location. Your action card will be built into that, news and emergency resources, and for a lot of our students who love going to see the Tide play, we have our student tickets. You also would be recommended to download the UA Safety app. The UA Safety app is available for both Android and Apple. It provides students with immediate access to information in case of an emergency. It includes built-in GPS to every single campus building and as well as safety guidelines for potential hazards. Users also would receive UA alerts and UAPD advisories for up-to-date information, and additional features include National Weather Service information for Tuscaloosa County. Now, your last big step for your first steps here at UA is to attend a new student welcome event. We have a welcome event every semester to meet our new students and to welcome back our old students. Everyone is welcome. We would really encourage you to attend this welcome event on Friday, August 19th at 3 p.m. It'll be located here in 105 B.B. Comer Hall, home to International Student and Scholar Services. You'll get a chance to meet other people. We'll have food and refreshments. We'll go over some basic information, and we'll have some tables set up to give you some very helpful information and connect you with community resources. We hope to see you all there. These are your next steps. You're going to probably need a lot of other documents and services, and we're going to try to tackle all of these important steps here as well. We're going to go over some basics about housing, social security number, driver's license, bank account, phone account and SIM card, transportation resources, and other resources that you might need while you're here. First off, for housing. Now, if you're an undergraduate student, you probably will be able to live in one of our lovely on-campus housing facilities here. We have extremely well-appointed residence halls, and we house about 10,000 students on campus. Now, many students also live off-campus. Most apartments require long-term leases of at least 1 year. So when you're looking for housing, just be aware that a lot of these places will only have 12-month leases. It is really common for a lot of landlords or apartment complexes to require you to pay a deposit, which is equal to at least 1 month of rent when you sign a lease for an apartment or house. And they often will also ask you to pay the first and last month of rent upon move-in. We recommend that you read through the terms of your lease very carefully before signing. By signing a lease, you're promising to pay the landlord for the entire time listed on the lease. And if something is not clearly spelled out in the lease, it is not to be assumed that it's going to be available to you. Ending your lease early or violating the lease agreement can cost you the rental deposit. We also recommend before you sign a lease, see the property. So many students are looking for places to live before they arrive, and they really want to secure that before their arrival, and I understand. But you don't want to move into a year-long lease with an apartment without having seen it in person. If all you're doing is relying on the pictures online, you may have a less than accurate idea of what the property is really like. We also recommend to visit off-campus housing resources for renters. This is an extremely excellent resource available to all students. Now, many of you will probably have already heard that you need a social security number. And that is true. If you're working, you do have to have a social security number. As an F1 or a J1 student, to be able to apply for a social security number, you must first have a job or a job offer for on-campus work, and you must have completed check-in and orientation and had your SEVIS record validated. Scholarships and assistantships typically will not qualify you for a social security number. It has to be a job to qualify. So if you're on a scholarship or a fellowship, then you might not be able to do this. If you have a paid assistantship where you work, or if you have a job on campus, whether it be with an academic department or maybe Bama Dining, those will allow you to qualify for a social security number. You will then have your campus employer complete an employment verification form that's available on our website and printed on their letterhead. And then you'll submit that form to the International Student and Scholar Services Office. We will verify it and provide instructions on setting up your social security number appointment. And full details on the whole process can be found here on our website. If you wish to drive in the U.S., you'll need to study the Alabama Driver's Manual to prepare for applying for a license. Remember, as a student on an F1 or J1 student visa, you have to have at least 160 days remaining on your I-20 or DS 2019 to be eligible to apply or to renew your driver's license. In order to apply for your driver's license, one of the very first steps is actually to get your Social Security card or to get a Social Security denial letter. If you are not eligible for a Social Security card because you do not have a job, you'll be able to get a Social Security denial letter from the local Social Security office. You will need one or the other when you go to apply for your driver's license. So if you don't already have your Social Security card, you must do this before requesting a verification letter from ISSS. One thing that the driver's license office will require is a status verification letter from International Student and Scholar Services. All F1 and J1 students must show that they have valid immigration status. So once you've had your Social Security card issued or a Social Security denial letter issued, you'll complete a verification letter request with ISSS so that you may obtain a verification of your visa status. ISSS, or International Student and Scholar Services, will issue this letter so that you can prove your F1 or J1 status. This is required for all F1 and J1 students as well as for their dependents. You'll then gather all of your immigration documents. Besides your verification letter, you're going to take a copy of your I-20 or your DS 2019. You're going to take your passport with its visa, and you're going to take a copy of your I-94 record. You will take those and the Social Security letter or the Social Security card to the driver's license office. But before you go, you want to make sure to make an appointment online with the driver's license office. You'll need to take both your written test and driving test at the local driver's license office, and you'll make that appointment online in advance. We have full details with step-by-step instructions on the license application process on our website. In order to get a bank account, most banks make it fairly simple. You'll just have to submit copies of your basic immigration documents, including your passport, your I-20 or your DS 2019, an I-94 record, and then they're going to need proof of your physical address, your mailing address where they're going to send all your statements to, your University of Alabama Action ID card or ACT card, a local phone number, and an email address. Those are the basics. One note that we have here is that if you wish to open an account with the Alabama Credit Union, which is located here in the Student Center on campus, they will require a verification letter from the International Student and Scholar Services as well. So you'll need to receive that verification letter from us before you go open an account. Full details on banking and banking options, as well as local banks where you can set up an account, can be found on our website. While you're here, you may want to set up your phone to be able to use local services. You could purchase a local phone and set that up with an account through Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Metro, or any one of the other services that are available. You can find phones and phone services even in major retailers such as Best Buy, Walmart, and Target. If you're looking just to get a SIM card, you can purchase SIM cards typically from AT&T or T-Mobile. Or you can order a SIM card through Campus Sims or Student Sims. Their websites here allow you to order and have these SIM cards sent to you directly. We also have some SIM cards for Mint Mobile available in our office for pickup. They have provided these to us for free, and you're welcome to grab one at any time. Full details on phones with links to these services can be found on our website. As a new international student, you probably noticed that public transportation is not as readily available as it once was in your home country. But Tuscaloosa does have some resources as well as our campus. Here in Tuscaloosa, we have the Tuscaloosa Transit System, or the Tuscaloosa Bus System. They have excellent resources here in town, though their hours are limited and their routes are somewhat limited. But if you go to their website, you'll find their routes and where they serve the community. And then you can also set up their app so that you can find where their buses are and track their buses in real time. On campus, we have an excellent bus system called Crimson Ride. The Crimson Ride website will give you all the bus route details, but you can also download the UA mobile app, and that allows you access to the bus routes and real-time location of all Crimson Ride buses. For long-distance transportation, you may want to look to Greyhound bus lines or Amtrak train services. Just be aware that Greyhound and Amtrak services around this country are very limited, And so you may not be able to find train services everywhere you want to go or bus services everywhere you want to go, but they will get you to most major destinations. Outside of that, most students and scholars, when they need to travel across the U.S., will opt to fly out of Birmingham or Atlanta. As a student of the University of Alabama, you are a part of the community. We want you to know everything there is to know about UA, its history, its culture and traditions, as well as Tuscaloosa. For that, we have 2 resources for you. There's the Campus Visitor's Guide, and it includes extremely helpful information about the campus, its history, its resources, and you can find that at visit.ua.edu. In Tuscaloosa, you'll find a very thorough guide called the Tuscaloosa's Visitor's Guide. It's an amazing resource for all that's great about Tuscaloosa and why this is Titletown, and you can find that at visittuscaloosa.com. Finally, I want to welcome you again to the University of Alabama, where legends are made.